You've always heard that being stunned with reality, being shocked with reality. So the number one trait that you should keep in mind is do what's right. What's right is never ever with what feels good. It can never be something like relaxing all day without doing anything, unless you're like injured or something. But having a lot of work to do and you have that kind of mindset, this has nothing to do with masculinity. When you think of the most important thing in your life, let's say it's your goal. Your goal has absolutely nothing to do with video games. But I just want to relax, they're like, it ain't that big of a deal to just play for a few hours a day or like few hours a week. It's not that big of a deal. Actually, it is. The game that you keep repeating over again, over and over and over and over again, this game is meant for you to keep playing it. So you can get too addicted to it, and then this kind of addiction brings them money. Because if you look at those like famous online games, they make new stuff every now and then so they can keep you entertained, so you can keep paying money. So when I say that you should avoid playing games, you should avoid listening to music, this is for your greater good, because what's right does not feel good. When you sit down at whatever time you start working, when you sit down frustrated, exhausted, you want to sleep, you want to relax, you want to enjoy your time, but you still got the right tasks to do, you have the right thing to do, is to start working, to do what you're supposed to do, even when you don't feel like doing it. Before I start working, I start to think of the times when I decided to delay all kinds of gratifications so I can work. When I say, okay, that one time my friends wanted to go out with me so we can go do whatever, I told them that I have some work to do. Beautiful. What an amazing trait that I have. Something else is that I decided to not get too addicted to games and to delete all the games that I used to play in my computer, in my phone, everywhere, and just do what is right and keep that as the only task, which is work. Keep that as the only task I have to do. You're gonna say, well, what if I wanna relax? What if I wanna take my time so I can just unwind and just do something else? How about you do something natural? How about you take a walk outside? How about you call your friend and you start talking for like 10, 15 minutes? How about you call your mom, you tell her you love her? How about you call your dad and thank him for his masculinity and thank him for how he was standing by your side? Call your brother and thank him that he was by your side. Those kind of things, they extend the kind of personality you have. They make you better. But when you play games, you just get too emotionally attached to it and you just keep pursuing it over and over and over again. Now, number 2, you have to have strict boundaries. And I'm not saying this so you can implement this on just people. There are boundaries I live by, and they're extremely, extremely strict. All kinds of boundaries depend on the place and the person, and basically depends on where I'm at. If I'm working, strict boundaries. There is no such thing as a phone around me. There is no noise around me. I notify everyone that I'm going to start working, so I need to focus, so please keep it down. Or if you're gonna study, same thing. If you use something that does not relate to the internet, like for example, if you wanna read and reading doesn't require internet at all you gotta do is just take that internet off. Turn the Wi-Fi off. Not for the whole house, obviously for the devices you use, your computer, your phone, your laptop, your iPad. Turn them all off and focus on that thing. But what if my work is digital? What if I have to use the internet so I can work? You have something called extensions. Let's say the thing that distracts you the most is YouTube Shorts. In your phone, wherever. Download an extension. You can ask ChatGPT if you want. Extensions that help, that help me strict or block YouTube Shorts. Those kind of things. Download them, install them, set them up, and have them on your phone. Sometimes when I'm reading like a PDF on like a book or something, I literally just go down here, look. I take off the internet flash and I just Basically, I have it off. Simple as that. And I keep reading, and obviously, I would have moments when I would want to scroll on Facebook or something. But this is not there. So even if my subconscious beats me and it goes to Google and it searches up Facebook, it's just gonna bring that dinosaur and tells that there is no internet. So I remember that there is something more important that I have to do, and I get back working. The best advice I can ever give for boundaries in general is to actually start journaling about this. For this moment, I'll do this. For this moment, I'll do this. How about with people? How to have strict boundaries with people? There is no such thing as this guy's going to disrespect me in a jokingly way. There is no man that tolerates himself getting disrespected. Then you don't have anything that relates to masculinity. I'm sorry to tell you this, sorry to disappoint you, but you are someone who should not be disrespected. You should build enough boundaries with people to tell them, I fucking matter. You are not going to disrespect my boundaries. You're not going to disrespect me. Your goals, your ambitions, how you get your mistakes, your pain, the things you struggle, the people you love, the people you don't love, all of those kind of things. You are fine with being heard and being like everyone should listen to you when you say those kind of problems. But no one disrespects you. I always do this whenever someone is disrespecting me. I don't know if it's like an argument or whatever. But whenever they keep, saying some things about me, you tell them, seems like we're not really having an agreement, and then you leave. You don't keep yapping about them, but you leave. If you have to stay in that environment, like let's say it's in like school or something, ignore them. Ignore them. The most dangerous weapon I can give you for those people is silence. Silence will turn them off. They will keep having that urge, that burn inside them to keep saying more and more, and eventually it's gonna crash. Strict boundaries actually help me with the third step, because the third step is saying no. This is gonna hurt, because a lot of people actually built their values based on people, because they fear being alone. And honestly, I cannot blame them. I cannot blame them. Feeling alone is terrible. It feels so fucking bad. But you have to know one thing, man. I would rather be alone than to be surrounded by bad people. And you should have the same exact mindset. If you are fine with people deciding your life and taking your next move in your life decisions, and you cannot say no, there is nothing that relates to masculinity here. In fact, this is something called submission. When you are this submissive to people, bro, then how are you expecting to be a man? And no, a man is not the one who keeps saying yes. A man knows when to say no. And I want you to keep this in mind, clip it if you want to. A man knows when to say yes and when to say no. He doesn't overly say no or overly say yes. So I want you to do yourself a favor. How can you say no? Listen to me carefully. Just say it. You know, when you want to say no, you feel like, you feel like a vibrator, like you want to say no, but you can't. It's so hard to say it. Because congratulations, if you're going through this kind of stage, you are improving. You say no. But what about my mother? What about if I am doing something important? What if my dad, my brother, my best friend, those kind of important people, I can say no to them. Come on, Yusuf, come on. This is really, really important to know this. I cannot say no to them. You actually can. But the only person you should not say no to is your mother. As long as you don't sacrifice yourself. That's it. With other people, with your friends, for example, you can actually say no when you don't feel like doing it. Like, for example, do you want to go to that park? Actually, no, I don't feel like doing it. But if your mom told you, let's go to this park, you say yes. Because as long as you're not physically injured, you don't say no. If you're physically injured, you're broken, you're tired, then you can say no. But with your mother especially, bro, there are times when you have to say more yes than no. Under one condition, as long as you don't harm yourself. Number 4, and it is the most important step, purpose. If it wasn't for purpose, you will have no meaning on doing any of those previous steps that I just said. Your purpose is not something you discover. It is something that you work on. It's not like, oh yeah, one day I'll just end up knowing that I have a purpose and that my purpose is this. I'll see in my dreams, or maybe someone, or maybe like a witch is gonna tell me that. No. Purpose is something that you work on building, my brother. They say one day I'll wake up motivated. One day they'll find their passion. One day everything will finally make sense. And that day doesn't really come because they have no purpose. Their purpose is their goal that you never identify. But since you're watching this video, you know what your goal is what's in your mind. That's why I always say you gotta take away all of that distraction, spend some time by yourself so you can know what you wanna do with your life. As soon as you find what you wanna do with your life, it can be with business model, whatever that is. It can be with business model, reading, it can be with helping people, it can be with coaching, it can be with martial arts, it can be with religious, whatever. It has to do with something important in your life. As soon as you identify that, that's your purpose. All you gotta do is dictate all your life for this. The only thing that will make you start the action is not the motivation. It is your discipline. If you have a disciplined life, you will realize the action is very, very easy to take. If you find the action is hard, then you are waiting for what feels right. And the last step, and this is the most important one in my opinion, is to let go. The amount of times I've heard this advice and I tried to implement it were countless. This was a misery to me. You have no idea how many times I've been trying to learn how to let go of bad memories, how to let go of bad friends, how to let go of my mistakes, how to forgive myself. Those kind of things never got in my head, and I wish someone were to tell me what I'm about to tell you. Letting go is not something built on feelings. Letting go is something built on decision. That means if the girl you're in love with, if she's not in love with you, decide to let go. Let it be. If you're trying to convince your best friend to start self-improvement and he's stubborn, he doesn't want to, let it go. Let it be. There are things you cannot control. There are things that are like impossible to change. Let them go. Let them be. And unfortunately, there are times when you're going to plan, you're going to work hard, and then you realize that you actually failed. Let it go, bro. Let that failure go. Decide that this is not something that defines your character. There is no mistake, no regret, no memory that defines your character. Because every single thing that comes out of you is a decision. So you have to decide to let go. You have to decide to move on. You have to decide to expect better things coming in your way. And I'll be honest with you, there are days when you will completely let everything go, but then that urge will come again and you feel shameful again. That's why I want you to make a reassurance message for yourself. Listen to it whenever, or read it whenever you feel down. You can bring your phone and you can record a voice message on why you are someone who is actually worth letting go and having better things in their way. You have to reassure yourself, because if it wasn't for yourself, no one is gonna do it for you. Or maybe very little people who are willing to do this, but the best person who's most suitable for this task is you. So bring a paper, start reassuring yourself, telling yourself that it's okay to let go. I am someone worth greatness. I'm going to work hard. I'm going to make myself proud. I'm going to make my parents proud. I'll make my life so much better. I'll make everyone learn that I am someone who is actually a man to his word. I'm going to be so proud of myself that I'm going to shed tears out of proudness and out of love for myself. And remember, boys, like and subscribe, and let's spread this message for everyone so everyone can know how they can improve their life and how they can be in a much better place. And I'm rooting for you and I'm praying for you. And remember, no one will save you but yourself.